Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my online class. This is Shorkat Taslim Afroz, Lecturer, Department of English. Dear students, in our today's class, I will discuss about English first paper where you will find a passage about Meherjan. Dear students, this Meherjan character is very common in Bangladesh. She is the victim of climate change. Dear students, you all know that in English first paper, you will find three different passages. And first two passages is from English first paper book. And from the first passage, you have to answer MCQ and question answer. So dear students, in my today's class, I will discuss about a passage and I will show you how to solve MCQ from the passage and how to write answer correctly and perfectly from a passage. Well, dear students, before starting our today's topic, it's very important to give you a reminder. In my previous lecture, I have already told about the technique, how to read a passage. When you are reading a passage, you have to know three important ideas like scanning, skimming, and skipping. These three topics will help you to read a passage properly. Now, dear students, I will start reading the passage and after that we'll solve MCQ and question answer. Remember, dear students, if you have any kind of question, please ask your subject teacher. Now, no more late, let's start. So, my dear students, before starting our today's passage, I have mentioned here some word meanings. All these word meanings will help you to understand the passage very properly. Well, first one is threaten. To say that you will cause trouble or hurt somebody. So the synonym is frighten. Whisper is another word which means you can use to speak very quietly to somebody so that other people cannot hear what you are saying, like murmur. Number 3, unsteady. Unsteady, that means liable to fail or shake. Number 4, flame. Flame, that means crest. Number 5, consume, which means devour. Dear students, I have prepared more words for you. As you can see on the screen, protection. Protection means conservation, the act of saving something or somebody. Next, prompt or swift. Prompt means done without delay. Number 3, embankment. Embankment means dam. Number 4, tremble. You can use tremble to say vibrate. Number 5, turmoil. Turmoil means a state of great anxiety and confusion. That means unrest. Now, dear student, read the passage and answer the question below 1 and 2. That means in our today's passage, we will know how to solve MCQ and how to write answer, that means question answer, perfectly. Now, let's start. Meherjan lives in a slum on the Sirajganj town protection embankment. Her polythene roofed shelter looks like a cage. She is nearly 45 but looks more than her age. In front of her shelter, she is trying to make a fire to cook the day's only meal. Here, Meherjan is a symbolic character, dear students. Next, her weak hands tremble. The meaning of this word tremble already I have mentioned, as she adds some fallen leaves and straw to the fire. The whispering wind from the river Jamuna makes the fire unsteady. Here is a question. What do you mean whispering wind? Whispering wind means wind that blows with a whizzing sound. Next, dancing of the flame, which means flame that is made unstable by the blast of air. Now, The dancing flames remind Meherjan of the turmoil in her life. Not long ago, Meherjan had everything: a family, cultivable land, and cattle. The erosion of Jamuna gradually consumed all her landed property. It finally claimed her only shelter during the last monsoon. It took the river only a day to devour Meher's house, trees, vegetable garden, and the bamboo bush. She had a happy family once. Over the years, she lost her husband and her family to diseases that cruel hunger and poverty brought to the family. Now she is the only one left to live on with the loss and the pain. The greedy Jamuna has shattered her dreams and happiness. There are thousands others waiting, shared the same fate like Meherjan. Bangladesh is a land of rivers, some of whose banks overflow or erode during monsoon. Erosion is a harsh reality for the people living along the river banks. During each monsoon, many more villagers are threatened by the mighty rivers like the Jamuna, the Padma, and the Meghna. It is estimated that river erosion makes at least 1 lakh people homeless every year in Bangladesh. In fact, river erosion is one of the main dangers caused by climate change. If we cannot take prompt actions to adapt to climate change, there will be thousands of more Meherjans in our town and villages every year. So, dear students, from this passage, we can easily understand Meherjan is a typical homeless woman who lives in a slum. She lost her shelter and properties due to the erosion of River Jamuna. She also lost her family, her husband, who died of diseases caused by poverty and shortage of food. Now, she is only a slum dweller. This is very pathetic, dear students. Like Meherjan, there are many people who have become the victims of river erosion. In fact, river erosion is still posing threats to the lives and properties of thousands of people. People living close to the rivers are the most likely victims of river erosion. Each year, about 1 lakh people become homeless due to river erosion in Bangladesh. And Meherjan's life is just one example of how climate change affects the lives of thousands of people. Now, dear students, I'm sure you understand the whole passage. Now, we'll practice MCQ from this passage. Let's turn to MCQ. Well, my dear students, now MCQ. Choose the correct answer from the alternatives. First one, Meherjan is a or an auspicious, B. Wrist, C. Well, D. Solvent. And the right answer is wrist. Well, number 2, the word adapt stands for A. Alter, B. Diversity, number C. Exchange, and number D. Familiarize. And the correct answer is familiarize. Now, question number 3. The word shatter means, the clues are A. Confronted, B. Faced, C. Devastated, D. Magnified. And the correct answer is devastated. Number 4. Turmoil means, I have already mentioned the meaning. Quarrel, tumult, number C. Battle, Number D. Struggle for living. Dear students, the correct answer of this question is B. Tumult. Next question is, what does the expression "it took the river only a day to demolish Mare's house, trees, vegetable garden and the bamboo bush" mean? A. The generosity of the river, the sovereignty of the river. Number C. The peculiarity of the river. Number D. The productivity of the river. And the correct answer is the severity of the river. Now, number 6. The phrase roaring river means rivers that flow strongly, making wild sounds. B. Rivers having many roaring river boats in them. C. Rivers that make people cry out. D. Rivers that have noisy fishes. And the correct answer is rivers that flow strongly, making wild sounds. Now, the last question. What is the purpose of the author of this passage? A. To draw the pictures of all the roaring rivers in Bangladesh. B. To depict the miserable condition of the victims like Meherjan due to river erosion. Number C. To portray the advantages and disadvantages of river erosion. D. To highlight the joy and happiness of the people living along the river banks. And the correct answer is B. To depict the miserable condition of the victims like Meherjan due to river erosion. Dear students, now number 8. Cruel hunger is used here as a phrase, proverb, C. pinpoint, D. pinnacle, and the correct answer is phrase. Dear student, as you all know, you will find 10 MCQ from a passage. Now, number 9. The word tremble stands for A. Firmness, B. Fitness, C. Careless, D. Shake. And the correct answer is D. Shake. Now, number 10. The opposite word of greediness is A. Desire, B. Selfishness, C. Unselfishness, D. Voracity. And correct answer is unselfishness. Now, my dear students, we will practice 5 questions. We'll solve 5 questions from the passage. As we have already finished the passage MCQ, now the first question on the screen. What is the main cause of river erosion and how can we control it? For answering this question, you have to understand the whole passage, and the answer is very clear. You can write like this way. The main reason of river erosion is the climate change. We can control river erosion by taking prompt action to adapt to climate change. Now, question number 2. Why does Meherjan look more than her age? This one is very clear. As we all know, once Meherjan had a happy family, but she lost her husband and her family. The question answer is Meherjan is physically weak and mentally upset as she has lost everything: shelter, cultivable land, trees, vegetable garden, etc. She is suffering for want, anxiety, etc. This negative phenomenon have made her life miserable and as such she looks older than her age. Number C. Who are the worst sufferers of climate change? And the answer is people of the poorer and riverian countries like Bangladesh, the Maldives, etc., who live along the river banks are the worst sufferers of climate change. River erosion due to climate change takes away almost everything of these people. So, Meherjan is a symbolic character here. D. What do you know about Meherjan's past life? Dear students, we have already discussed about this. Now, the answer of this question is Meherjan's past life was full of plentifulness and happiness. She lived with her family, actually happy family, on the bank of the river Jamuna. She had everything, her husband, her property, living house. But due to river erosion, she lost everything. Now, question number 5. Why is the Jamuna called a greedy and roaring river? Answer is the Jamuna is called a greedy and roaring river because helpless people like Meherjan lose everything owing to violent erosion, river erosion. As Jamuna River engulfs everything of the helpless people living on it, so its violent erosion. It is called a greedy and roaring river. Now, number F. What should we do to save people like Meherjan? And the question answer is we know that river erosion is one of the main dangers caused by climate change. So, if we take all out steps to adapt to climate change, we can save thousands of people like Meherjan. Well, dear students, I hope you understand how to solve these questions from the passage. Now, practice a lot from your test paper. If you have any kind of question, please ask your subject teacher. Thank you very much, dear students. See you later in my next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz.